harmony as, in fact, the volunteers intended all along. This was a dream, essentially, that's come alive. From 1997, you had, in fact, the Swamy Narayanjis and the Brahmacharis talking about this kind of a temple, and now it's become a reality for all of them who have toiled for the last many years. From 2019, when the first foundation stone was laid, to now, these images ensure that, we've come a full circle as far as this temple construction really is concerned. The Prime Minister is expected now to make his way to the temple anytime now. He's, taking his time. He's ensuring that he's also there, taking in the breathtaking images right now of, in fact, the temple as well. So what you're seeing behind me, and that's exactly where the Prime Minister will be walking in from. So we'll ensure that we get you the first frame of the Prime Minister within the temple. He's in the premises, of course. And like I said, it's a massive, massive temple here that has been set up. So he's walking through, enjoying the sights and sounds of this beautiful mandir. And then we'll be walking through the red carpet inside the temple as well. So once he's here, he's going to be meeting with all of those who have played such an integral role in making this temple a reality. And then after that, he will be going up for a very brief ceremony. And then there will be an address by the Prime Minister. We're even hearing that there may be a chance of the Prime Minister actually carving on some of the stones to understand what it really takes to make all of this really come alive, to ensure that all of these carvings and how piece by piece it was brought together to bring this beautiful temple as well together. The Prime Minister will be making his way inside now. In any moment, we're expecting him to be watching the temple from a blue eye that's been created right now, right at the entrance of the temple. That's 2 levels down. And the idea is that when you watch from there, you get that entire breathtaking sight of the temple in one go. So from there, once he sees that, he'll make his way forward, walk up the stairs to the first level where I'm at, and here the Prime Minister will walk along this entire area that's been created almost like a ghat to ensure that, when he's walking by, they get a sense of the kind of divinity, that you would get visiting a temple by the ghats of the Varanasi. So that's the messaging. And you will see, in fact, 3 portions of the entrance of the temple. And when the Prime Minister enters, I'll talk about that, because then you'll get a clearer sense of what I'm mentioning here. There are 3 black panels, essentially, the Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati, to show that they're flowing through this particular temple. And those auspicious waters have also been brought here to be a part of the temple inauguration. So the symbolism, the significance of every single stone that's been put as part of this temple is huge and extremely important as well. So the Prime Minister now is expected to make his way to the entrance, and he's been, of course, walking through the premises, enjoying several parts even below, because there are several attractions there. Like I said, there's a 3D wall that indicates all of the efforts that's gone in and the messaging behind this kind of a temple here in Abu Dhabi. So as, in fact, we get you all of these live images right now of the Prime Minister making his way inside, this is a moment that is no doubt history in the making, not just for India, but also for the United Arab Emirates. Like I said, this isn't the first time that a temple has come up in the United Arab Emirates, but you've never seen a temple of this scale. You've never seen a temple with this much significance of the government saying that, look, we will step up. I'm referring to the UAE government here. We will step up, actively play a role in ensuring that the temple is fully ready also for you. So every volunteer that you talk to says the same thing. They say that, look, the UAE has played an integral role in ensuring that this dream comes alive, which is why in many of the carvings, you will see sheikhs also being shown, along with, in fact, the brahmacharis who are part and disciples of Swamy Narayan, who run the entire foundation right now. So all of that is shown in the carvings, the story of how this building, how this temple actually became a reality. Then you have icons, architectural marvels of the United Arab Emirates, like the Burj Khalifa, that's actually carved in stone in the temple. So it's like no other temple, essentially, in that sense. And I know there are a lot of comparisons. This is something I referred to earlier. I know there are a lot of comparisons between this temple and the Ram Mandir. I can tell you that there is no way you can compare the two. Having been to that one and this one, yes, it's made of sandstone. Yes, it's made by hand. So in that sense, there's a similarity. But beyond that, really, you will see that it's completely vastly different. For example, this particular temple has 7 idols inside, 7 different idols that people can come and worship. The idea is to get people from the north, south, east and west of India. And I'm sure everyone who's watching this broadcast right now is also planning, figuring out when they should come and visit this temple. And for, of course, the Indian diaspora here, we're talking about a 3.5 million strong Indian diaspora based in the UAE. And imagine that, with such a strong, with such a big Indian diaspora population, for 34 years, till 2015, you didn't have an Indian Prime Minister who actually came down to the UAE to better ties. And that's why from 2015 to 2024, the fact that you've seen this massive focus on bettering India-UAE ties has translated to what you see next to me, to this very building here, to this temple. So it's indicative really of to be admiring the beautiful sights and sounds here of Abu Dhabi. It's in the midst of a desert essentially, because you have between Abu Dhabi and Dubai this particular temple that's come up. So from the city center, it's about 30 minutes away. But once you come here, there's a sense of tranquil peace, because just a few years ago, you speak to anyone here and you see all of the videos of the making of this temple. Before this was literally the middle of nowhere, a complete desert and nothing else. There's no development, no structures. And now this entire area has in fact got a messaging and got this sign of being a harmony street. You have in fact a South Indian parish church right opposite this very temple. So the idea is, you have a synagogue also, by the way, on this entire lane. So the idea is for the UAE also to send out a message of tolerance, to send out a message that in a Muslim nation, there is a place for this massive Indian diaspora of all faiths, of all cultures, of all traditions to really come together and to be accepted as family here. And that is a message that the Prime Minister also referred to earlier. You had the Prime Minister yesterday at the Airline Modi event, where you had 40,000 people attending, speaking about this very temple, saying again what we've been talking about, recognizing the fact that the United Arab Emirates has played a big role in bringing this moment to life. And in fact, even as we get you these images of the Prime Minister as he makes his way to the temple, any moment now, he's going to be behind me, walking up that red carpet, walking through this entire area that's a replica of a ghat, talking to young kids who've been working so hard that every weekend that they've gotten besides school, they've been here at the temple trying to do their bit. He'll be talking to the artisans, as is always the case, the Prime Minister making it a point to send out a message of thanks and appreciation to all of the men and women who've made this mandir a reality, who've made this beautiful dream really come true by being a part of ensuring that the carvings are done, by being a part of putting every single brick in place. Then there are people, of course, who've contributed, who've donated to this cause, who had a chance of laying one brick after another just at the beginning when the foundation stone was laid. So they'll get a chance also to interact with the Prime Minister. So it's going to be a beautiful a ceremony, very fitting, truly, for the BAPS Hindu Mandir, because like I've said, it's all about the symbolism, it's all about the significance, and that's exactly what the Prime Minister is also focusing on when he is a part of this entire, this entire inauguration of the temple. We can tell you also